Hey there, it's Nick, man, from Counseling and Therapy SEO. If you're a therapist or private practice owner and you have a Google business profile, but you're unsure of what to do, how to optimize it, or if it's really helping, this video is for you. I just wrapped up a call with Karen. She owns Open Heart Counseling, and we went through her profile step by step, and I wanted to show you exactly what we looked at. In this kind of recording, if you follow along, it takes about 15-20 minutes for you to do it yourself, make your profile work harder for you. And what we do is we cover of what to update, what kind of skip, how to make sure your profile shows up for when people are searching for support in your area. So with that said, let's just get into it. Yeah, so actually some of the things that are pretty good is that you do have, you do have a 5-star review, which is great.
One.
Even though there's nothing in there, it's still miles above having 0. So I think the last time we talked,
Oh, that's also so funny because that's not who I didn't realize that's okay. I didn't even ask that client to do that.
Oh, well, that's amazing. Because we want that to happen.
Yeah, I don't know how that happened.
Because you can't get in trouble if they go out of their own way and do it.
Right.
Right?
Yeah.
So, yeah, getting the Google reviews are good, and I know there's the whole ethical thing with asking.
Yeah.
But at the same time, if we're looking, for example, let's just look at Vancouver Counseling Clinic. Some of these guys have like 92 5-star reviews or 121.
Okay.
And it's like, did they not ask and get that? It's, highly
Unlikely.
Doubted, but they probably did it a lot more tactfully, and like, so you still want to keep that in the back of your head, and you don't want to take advantage of clients.
For sure.
That's why it's there. But to kind of put things in perspective, like to kind of compete and kind of be there, you do want a couple of reviews, so that's good. The photos here, I mean, there's things you can do in the back end to optimize it more, and that kind of maybe goes outside the scope because it's a little bit more technical, but there are, you have your logo here, for example, so there are other things you can do to kind of fill this space up a little bit more.
Okay.
I usually suggest like 5-10 photos. You can take a picture of your workspace or kind of like any branded content that you have.
Okay.
Kind of inspirational, or like your favorite quotes, for example. Things like that can really help with that.
I'm just making notes as you're speaking, so if I'm looking in a different direction, that's why.
Oh, no worries. Yeah. And I can write out some of these things and give you kind of a more in-depth breakdown too. Now, you do have a missing like phone number, so I'm not sure if that's intentional because you just don't want people calling you.
Yeah, exactly.
Sure. Okay. Yeah, and that's perfectly normal for that. The other thing is with what we see here, there's the description. So are you struggling with anxiety, depression, or maybe relationships? Whatever you're feeling is okay. So this is really good, but I think there's room for about 750 characters. And
so make that longer.
You can make it a little longer. You can actually kind of sneak in some keywords here and there. So if you want to be targeting, clients in Vancouver, you can talk about Vancouver counseling, or you can talk about you being a registered clinical counselor or a therapist. So this is a place to kind of weave in those keywords. And you want to make it as natural as possible. You don't want to just slam them in there and not have it make sense.
Right.
But you can do that. And then I don't have access to your profile, but in the back end of your profile, you can actually set up products and services. And in those products and services, you can write kind of descriptions about those products or services. So you can kind of break it down like you have in your website. You can talk about individual counseling, have a whole kind of section there about it, relationship counseling. not sure if many people do that, but I know in other industries it's popular. And we'll take a look and see if other people have it. They might not. They do Google Business Posts here, which I was going to recommend you doing.
Okay.
No, so sometimes you won't be able to see the services in the products section, but if you're logged into Google Business, you'll be able to see that.
Okay.
You want to try and fill that in as much as you can for all the different services that you have, and possibly even any modality that you have as well. So if you want to talk about any specialization that you have that interest in or that you got certified in, you can talk about that in there too, and it just fills in kind of more information for Google to understand what you're about.
Perfect.
And here as well, on the back end, you can also put in your social media links, which is a new thing.
Okay.
Right, so if we go to these guys, for example, you can see that they've got links to their LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram. That's something you want to do. Okay. And yeah, I think those are like the big pieces to your Google Business Profile. So if you just take those steps to optimize it, it'll be huge already. Okay. And the other thing is you will also probably have a button in the back end where you can put in a schedule link. So I think do you use Jane at all, or you have a book now? So yeah, you have Jane app. So you can actually put your scheduling link right in Google Business Profile as well. So those are a couple of things that you can do to really dial in your Google Business Profile. And there's other things you can do like, building citations or backlinks, but those are a little bit more complicated. These are all the kind of the easy stuff that you can do to like really optimize your Google Business Profile right away. Okay. And then it is linked to your website. So right now you set for your website, you can kind of edit the meta title and meta description because your Google Business Profile is linked to your homepage. So if you want to target any specific city or area, you can put that right in the title. So for example, if we're wanting to target Vancouver, you can do Vancouver counselor or Vancouver therapist, and then have open heart counseling there. And then you have room here to kind of go into your description as well. Okay. Yeah. So that's important because the website is linked directly to the Google Business Profile.
Yeah. Okay.
All right. I think that's it for the Google Business Profile. Do you have any questions?
No, that is all things that I would never even have thought about.
Yeah, it's good. Okay. And then, so outside of that, I see you got your Instagram here, and then you got your Facebook, and you have a nice video actually. I forgot about that.
Oh yeah, God.
So just looking at, you've got, for example, these links here. You've got Smart Blog or Smart Bio, and then the blog.
Yeah, what is that Smart Bio like?
So I think it was probably, well, we can go check it out.
Like, what is that?
It's kind of like a link wrapper, I think. So you can set up your own Smart Bio. It's basically a link so that you can put in other links, because with Instagram, you're only allowed really one link in your bio. Well, you used to only be allowed one link, and they've changed that. So that's probably what you did a while back, and you've got these two, free consultation, and then these three links.
I didn't even know that was there.
So those could be cleaned up a little bit, because if someone clicks on your Instagram and then goes, then they'll find these kind of broken pages.
Yeah. Okay.
And then the other link Where'd it go? The other link just opened up to your blog, which is fine.
Okay.
I mean, you have a blog here, so you may as well use it.
Okay. How important is it for me to be doing like blog stuff?
Not super. Well, here's the thing. That's one area. That's one thing you actually can use to communicate with your email list, right? So if you write a blog post, then you can kind of summarize that onto your email list and send it off to people. So it's kind of a way of staying on top of mind. If you're asking for SEO purposes, it's not super important.
Okay.
Although having a few blogs is better than not having anything at all. And actually being able to go in here and do some interlinking can really help. So for
Okay.
example, when you mention your own self here, you can link to the homepage. If you're talking about just skimming through, for example, let's say if you were talking about individual counseling, you can use that counseling services and then link to the services page here.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
So a little bit of interlinking can help with that, because Google understands what your website is about by reading it. And so if it goes on the page and it sees that these are the other pages that are linking out from, they're like, okay, these links are probably kind of important. And this is not your page, so you have somebody else's brand showing up. Which is,
I think they're on Vancouver Island.
Oh, okay. Yeah, Nanaimo. So it's good actually that your Google business profile is showing up and your other things here are showing up. So if you link them all a little bit more, it'll be better.
Yeah. Okay.
Your assets will start to show up. And for this, you should probably actually have your own YouTube channel for this.
Okay.
I don't know if do you have this video yourself, or?
I do.
Okay. Do you have a YouTube channel?
I don't.
Okay. It's kind of like setting up a Facebook profile. So it's just like you can build a list and start doing that. But this is what I do with my clients too. Because you can put in your description here. You can put a link to your own website. You can put in your address, well, you don't want your phone number, but other assets here.
Mm-hmm.
And then right now it's kind of powering Story Hero Media. So actually he can probably optimize his channel better too. Because right here, usually, well, I'll give myself an example here. I don't have any content right now, but when you go here, you can see there's a cover, and then you can see there's these links pointing to my social media.
Okay.
That's a little bit of a stronger presence. Whereas when we go to him, he's not linked to any of his properties. Okay. So you're just trying to build a web out there so that people and Google can find you when they're on your stuff.
Yeah. Okay.
So.
And look, there I am on his website too. I feel like I'm so resistant to I mean, obviously I put my face on the internet personally, like on my own Instagram, and stuff, but the idea of my face being out there professionally feels really intimidating.
Yeah. It's one of those things that people have a lot of their own perspectives on it.
Yeah, totally. I think it's probably based in well, for me anyway, it's like a imposter syndrome, don't let anyone find me kind of thing. But then that's obviously problematic for my business. So
yeah, and I think it comes from a lot of the old guard, because our parents never had the internet, and so suddenly having all this thing public probably set off alarm bells in their head. But it's so people are doing it with TikTok and Instagram and just blogging away their life.
Yeah.
You do want to be careful with the image that you're putting out, but at the same time, I think people are becoming more and more accustomed to it, and so if they're trying to find you online, little things will kind of make you more personable and they can connect with you more on that.
Yeah.
It's hard though, I know, because Beta was telling me in her ethics class, they're like, clients will look you up, so don't have anything public. And so they teach kind of
Yeah,
something
exactly.
else.
I think
But
being also someone who practices like from my home, like, I'm in a condo and like, so you can't, like it's very secure. Like you can't just come find me. Or like you could come to the front door of my building, but like no one's going to let you in kind of thing. And you couldn't get to my floor. But I think being like a home-based business with your address posted online, I was also like, oh,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah. So those are things you want to keep in mind.
Yeah.
But I know just even changing some of these links here and connecting your Instagram and Facebook. All right, that's it. Hopefully that gave you a clearer picture of what you need to do to optimize your GBP or Google Business Profile and how just a small tweaks can really make a big difference. If this helped you, give this video a thumbs up, subscribe for more tips like this, or share it with a colleague who you think could use a hand with their practice marketing. And if you want a full checklist, a digital marketing checklist from this video, feel free to drop a comment or reach out, and I'm happy to help. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.